I think it's become pretty clear at this point that a savvy franchise filmmaker working today needs to understand that the key to success is giving fans something to theorize about, something to discuss. Now, the Russo brothers are particularly good at this and have the results financially and creatively to show for it. On the flip side, you have Rian Johnson and Benioff and Weiss, who thought they were very clever by subverting fan theories. Like, I guess they felt flexing their muscles, like, I'll show you who's boss. And yeah, on that note, they were working against the fandom instead of with the fans. It created an adversarial relationship. Now, J.J. Abrams must repair it. He must win the fans back. And to his credit, he just delivered a doozy of a theorizable moment for something for us to discuss with episode 9 and this D23 footage. Dark Rey. Okay, JJ, I'll play because we all enjoy it so much. Again, as I said, this is the heart, I think, of franchise fandom. So here are my ideas as to who Dark Rey could be and how she possibly came to be. And I'm basing my theories off of popular Star Wars themes. Many people are already playing this aggressively, and I invite you to share your own theories down below. All right, so theory number 1, she's a clone. Did Kylo Ren, rejected, decide to make a Sith Rey sex doll? But no, but on all seriousness, although I think that could potentially be a layer here. Remember all the copies in the cave? One of you, in fact, pointed that out in the comments on my reaction video. Maybe that was all the clones of her that maybe exist. Maybe there's more than just 2 Reys, in fact. Because remember, for a while there, all stormtroopers were clones of Jango Fett. Clones are a big part of Star Wars. I saw a theory that she's a clone of Luke Skywalker. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that might be a little bit too on the nose. Although, I guess maybe that would allow the Skywalker line, therefore, to continue. So I guess we shouldn't totally throw that idea out. Next, she's a twin. Luke and Leia are twins, right? Maybe Rey is one half of an identical set of twins. One that goes to the dark side. We have a theory that Rey's, regular Rey is going to become like a gray Jedi with the white lightsaber that she has. So we'll see where everybody lands on the Force spectrum. That's a funny way maybe to put it, right? But so twins, that's another idea. Then a lot of people are saying, don't get me excited, it's just a dream. And indeed, that would suck. Get that garbage out of here. Unless maybe it's the subcategory of Force vision, a hallucination, like I guess the clones, the copies of herself. And so Rey will fight herself, maybe. I still think that's cheating, and that would be my least favorable outcome. And then, of course, maybe she just legit goes to the dark side, right? Making Reylo fans squeal with delight. I'm a bit of a Reylo fan. Every time someone points out that he killed her mentor. Well, it was a very short-lived mentorship, but still, he gave her his car, right? That is a good point. But you know what? There's really interesting dynamics to relationships and abusive relationships. I don't know if Star Wars wants to go here, but that could be something to explore, right? So this is why your parents, like Luke, don't even want you talking to the bad boy. First, he shares his ideology with you. Then he makes you a mixtape and a special lightsaber. Next thing you know, you're over-contouring your face. But while Rey doesn't know how to use a makeup brush, she does really know how to use that new lightsaber. It's like, it's cool at first to see her with it, but the real magic here is how she deploys it. Now, she doesn't have to throw it. There's no force to it. It just releases. So I'm guessing there's maybe like a release button there, which I guess is cool because, if she had to like forcefully unconnect it to make it unlock, that would seem maybe she was trying too hard. This thing just kind of floats into being a double-edged lightsaber, which is very cool. Everyone's wanted her to have one ever since she was first introduced with the staff. They wanted her to have a Darth Maul style situation there. And she is wearing here a Sith robe, and it doesn't seem like much else. Rey's like, what's happening here? I think it's very cool. Everyone loves it. One of you was like, I shall call her Hot Rey. And I think that might be the way to go with the character. I think she looks very cool. Now, somebody also pointed out as a theory that she's got a ring on her finger, and maybe that's possessing her, right? There's a theory going around that Palpatine possessed the mask of Darth Vader. So, you know, there's, I guess, it's not in the films, but there is a precedent set for that as well. Palpatine, though, does loom large in the background on the poster they released at D23, so it does seem that he's pulling the strings. And Rey looks a lot like a puppet here, lifeless. Ideal girlfriend material, especially for someone like Kylo Ren. The Reylo jokes never get old. I think that's part of the reason the fandom is so the shipping is so popular. Now, we're going to break down the rest of the special look, which is annoyingly 2/3 old Star Wars movies. I'm so tired of Star Wars relying so heavily on nostalgia, and I think the real failure of the third trilogy is to create any lasting new characters. Maybe Rey and Kylo Ren, right? Because of the connection that's been forged between them. That's been, I think, the most interesting thing about these new movies so far. And also, but I have to say, though, Kylo Ren is very derivative of Darth Vader, so that makes him, I think, a little less special. So let's start at the beginning of the new footage. So we got our first look. You know, finally, they're all back together. This is the trio that we were supposed to have from the beginning, but they scattered them to different corners of the Star Wars universe for the trilogy, but they're bringing them back together here in the end. And I think, to be fair to Finn and Poe, they never really got a lot of screen time because of this ridiculous focus on past characters. They should have just done one movie bringing back Luke, Leia, and Han, like we all wanted. Well, you know, before Carrie Fisher tragically passed away, now they can never do it. And also, they killed off Han Solo and Luke. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's so bad how they handled it. One movie, clear the decks, and then you could have focused solely on these new characters, because I think Finn and Poe look very cool here. Also, speaking of shipping, Finn Poe still lives largely due to Oscar Isaac's efforts. Every chance he gets, he likes to stoke the flames of Finn Poe, and he did it again at D23 this weekend. I think both their characters had tremendous potential, and it just never was realized. And I probably won't be able to be, because there's only one movie left in this trilogy. All right, so by the way, I bet Chewie never thought you wouldn't see him in a photo, right? He's so tall. He's like, I can't believe it. So they're coming across some party here. It looks a lot like they've stumbled across the Thor Ragnarok party on Sakaar, right? I can't believe that they wouldn't be like, didn't another franchise in the same company just use smoke bombs at a space party? So they're like, oh, let's go blow off some steam. There's Carrie Fisher returning as Leia using old footage that they had left over from scenes that were cut from prior films. I gotta say, that's what it looks like, you know, because we've seen that look for Leia before, or you know, something very similar to it. And I think Leia, who of course is known for her fashion choices and hairstyles, you know, should have had something really different. Although it was weird when she went like full fancy dress into battle, right? It's like, so we're wearing our tuxedos today. Is this the Titanic? And in some ways, to fans, it was. But so this is a little bit more, at least, of a military rebellion look. But I still think it looks, you know, you can tell that it's old footage, which I think could potentially take us a little bit out of the movie. But at least she gets to be in this final chapter. Now, I love when they come out of Lightspeed. I think that's great. It's so cool. So we have like a face-off of the two ships. And there's a great shot of not only Finn, but behind him, Naomi Ackie is Jannah. She looks fantastic. That's great lighting on her face. She has fantastic makeup. She looks really cool there. Little misty night. So there is C-3PO with red eyes, as some of you have been joking, C-3PO in kill mode. This is, you know, and this is the final of this, they're saying it's the final story of the Skywalker saga until apparently they do clear the deck and tell an entirely new story with maybe Benioff and Weiss's movies. I hope Benioff and Weiss realize what I just said about the problem with subverting fan theories. Working against fans. But anyway, this could be the fate of C-3PO. He could end up evil. We'll see. Maybe Kylo is like, I'm going to turn all your friends evil. Now, I love this beam coming down and hitting this planet with such force. It's really cool. I love it. It's a gorgeous shot. It's just, and it's frightening but beautiful at the same time. Then we have footage of Rey having to train herself. They said there'd be a time jump and she's almost fully trained for this movie. And it looks like she had to do it by herself, goddammit, because, you know, she lost Luke, so there's no one to train her. She doesn't have a cute little puppet to carry around on her back, so she's just got to yell at herself. She apparently has that training droid. And you can see behind her that smoking tree. She's already cut one tree down. I think that's pretty cool, in fact. She's just I guess she's not an environmentalist, but I mean, this planet seems pretty good, pretty well forested. So she's pretty upset. So she's trying to take this droid out, and she's already missed once. So she throws her lightsaber. It just easily the droid just goes, whoop, miss me again. And she takes out another tree. Ah, so many trees are dead. And that one starts to smoke as well. I like the smoking tree. It's a cool effect. I hope she reuses that wood, and doesn't, reduce your footprint, Rey. And so here she grabs the lightsaber. I'm glad she grabbed that end of it. And I don't know, I wonder why she has that red thing on her wrist. Maybe somebody has to grab it away. Maybe it's like flag Jedi training. And I also like that she has like a makeshift staff there that she's training with dual weapons. It's cool. And I always like her hoodie. It's neat. She's got her old hairstyle here. I have enjoyed seeing a number of young girls go to Galaxy's Edge dressed as Rey. There was a particularly adorable video that Mark Hamill shared the other day of a little girl dressed as Rey using the Force to move the parade. In fact, she was just standing at the end when they had to turn to go inside. But everyone played along with her. It seemed a little staged, but when Rey hugged her at the end, the real Rey, it did make me well up with tears. I have to say, they got me good. This is a great shot on this icy planet with the lightning behind him. And then look, he deploys his lightsaber, and I hope that he puts it in the snow and like steam rises up. I'm like, he knows how to make an entrance. No wonder all the girls are swooning. Well, everyone's swooning. Okay, so then so this is crazy to me. So there are a couple of things about this. This is a very nice shot. They're having one of those epic lightsaber battles that we've been missing. And I think the one they had in the first movie between the two of them, Force Awakens, was, I thought, too short and a little bit too hard to see. Too many close-ups. Although hopefully, this is obviously a very wide shot. Hopefully, they've been doing a lot of training over the course of making these movies. Hopefully, they, both Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley are skilled enough now to do wide shots for these lightsaber battles. And I have to say, I do love the way Adam Driver moves. The way he does like a fake out with his body. It's very cool. He cuts a very dashing figure. He's very tall, but yet still very trim. Although he did have a broader look, of course, when he appeared shirtless to everyone's delight. And it was certainly a talkable moment in the last movie. And it did come out of nowhere. But the way he also has like a slim fit cape, a slim cut cape, the modern style choice for men. And it looks very cool. So they look cool fighting each other there. It's hard for her to compete with that, but she at least does have the better, his back is to camera at least. But I'm wondering, why do they always end up fighting in these amazing locales? They're like, we can't have our lightsaber battle here. We gotta, let's go find a nice location. Here? Yeah, let's do it here. So I'm curious how they do get, like, story-wise to this location to make it work. And I believe I'm not sure if that's the remnants of the Death Star, the second Death Star in the background, but we do know that of course is a factor here because it was in the first teaser. And then I like this breathing, and they almost have like a female breathing here when they bring in the shot of Rey. So, that's pretty cool. And then she, of course, amazingly deploys her new lightsaber, which looks, of course, a lot like Kylo's. So that makes me feel kind of he made it for her. Aw, as I said. And then that's a great tease. They said they're hard at work at the next trailer. So we'll probably hopefully get that very soon. Maybe in front of something like Joker. They could even put it in front of It Chapter 2. But maybe Joker would be a good place to have it. And I feel like with this, and that the fact that December's right around the corner at this point, we'll probably only have one more trailer. But I think that'll be enough. I think this alone has done a lot to get people interested again in Episode 9. So what do you think? What do you think of this special look? Now that we're at the end of this last trilogy of the Skywalker saga, how do you feel about how it's all turned out? And what do you think are the most important factors in franchise filmmaking these days? Share your thoughts down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.